The Cooper family's Sunday brunch was in full swing at my brother Nathan's penthouse when I arrived, laptop bag in hand. Through the floor-to-ceiling windows, Manhattan's skyline served as a backdrop to their weekly display of supposed success. I smoothed down my casual jeans and sweater, designer pieces they'd mistake for mall brands, and settled into my usual corner spot with my laptop. The same laptop they mocked me for always carrying, not knowing it controlled a billion-dollar e-commerce empire. "Still playing with your little website, Sarah?" Nathan's voice carried across the room. He stood with his wife Rebecca, both dressed in obvious symbols of corporate success. "Someone has to maintain the family's online presence," I replied quietly, checking my sales dashboard. TechVibe, my technology marketplace platform, had just crossed $50 million in sales for the day. "Maintain?" Nathan laughed, swirling his expensive scotch. "Your little dropshipping business barely counts as e-commerce. While you're selling phone cases online, I'm negotiating Cooper Electronics' biggest deal ever." If he only knew that Cooper Electronics' biggest deal would be with my company, though not in the way he expected. TechVibe was about to become their largest potential client, and simultaneously, their worst nightmare. "How's the corporate world treating you, Nathan?" I asked, watching my real-time analytics climb. "Another $1 million in sales within the last hour alone." "Brilliantly," he boasted. "We're about to secure an exclusive contract with a major online retailer. Going to revolutionize our distribution model." I suppressed a smile, knowing that the major online retailer was actually one of TechVibe's subsidiary companies. I'd created it specifically to approach Cooper Electronics, hiding my involvement through layers of corporate structure. "That's wonderful," our mother beamed. "Nathan's always had such a head for business. Unlike..." She glanced at me and my laptop, letting the implication hang. "Speaking of business," Rebecca chimed in, "Sarah dear, that marketing position at Cooper Electronics is still open. Something more stable than your little website." My phone buzzed with an urgent message from my CFO. "Final acquisition papers ready. Cooper Electronics board has approved the supply contract without realizing it gives us controlling interest." "Thanks, but I'm comfortable with my current situation," I replied, thinking of my real office, the entire top floor of a downtown skyscraper, where I managed a company worth more than Cooper Electronics' entire market cap. "Comfortable?" Nathan scoffed. "You live in that tiny apartment, drive a basic car, and spend all day on your laptop. That's not a business, that's a hobby." If he only knew that my tiny apartment was actually the penthouse of a building I owned, or that my basic car was a deliberately chosen cover for my collection of luxury vehicles. "Everyone has different definitions of success," I said mildly, watching another sales milestone notification pop up. "Success?" Nathan laughed loudly, drawing everyone's attention. "Sarah, your little website probably makes what Cooper Electronics does in 5 minutes. Speaking of which," he pulled out his phone, "I should check on that retail contract. The CEO is supposed to sign today." "The mysterious CEO," Rebecca added. "Nobody seems to know anything about them. Just that they run one of the largest online marketplaces in the country." I bit back a smile, remembering all the meetings Nathan had attended with my representatives, never suspecting that his little sister was the anonymous tech mogul he was so desperate to impress. "I'm sure they know what they're doing," I murmured, clicking open the contract that was about to change everything. "Unlike some people's amateur efforts," Nathan smirked, nodding at my laptop. "But hey, at least your phone case business keeps you busy." My phone buzzed again. "Purchase order prepared for transmission to Cooper Electronics. Value, $1.2 billion. Awaiting your final approval." "Actually," I stood up, gathering my things, "I have a rather important business meeting to attend." "Oh." Nathan's eyebrows rose mockingly. "Landing another big phone case client?" "Something like that," I replied, heading for the door. "You might even hear about it today." Little did he know that in exactly 1 hour his biggest deal ever would reveal itself as a takeover by his sister's little website. Sometimes success doesn't need to announce itself. It just needs to wait for the perfect moment to show them exactly who they underestimated. The sleek conference room at Cooper Electronics hummed with anticipation. Through the glass walls, I watched Nathan straightening his tie repeatedly, preparing to meet the mysterious CEO of what he thought was just another online retailer. "The purchase order is ready," my CFO whispered, handing me the final documents. Once transmitted, it triggers the ownership transfer clauses they didn't read carefully enough. I nodded, thinking of all the family brunches where they dismissed my amateur business acumen. Send it precisely at 2 p.m. I want Nathan to receive the notification during his big meeting. Miss Cooper, my assistant appeared. Your brother's executive team is assembled. They're expecting the CEO of Nextech Retail. Perfect, I smiled, smoothing down my now impeccable Chanel suit. Gone were the casual clothes from brunch. Let's show them who they've really been negotiating with. Through the glass, I could see Nathan boasting to his board members. The largest purchase order in company history, he was saying. This deal will double our market cap overnight. If he only knew that TechVibe had been secretly acquiring Cooper Electronics shares through Nextech Retail for months. That his historic deal was actually the final piece of my takeover strategy. My phone buzzed. Breaking news alert. TechVibe founder reveals identity ahead of major acquisition. It's time, I told my team, gathering the documents that would change everything. The Cooper Electronics boardroom fell silent as I walked in. Nathan's triumphant smile froze, then crumbled as confusion set in. Sarah, he stammered. What are you doing here? We're waiting for Nextech's suit. Actually, I moved to the head of the table, his seat, and opened my laptop. Nextech Retail is a subsidiary of TechVibe. My company. Your company? Rebecca's voice cracked from her seat beside Nathan. You mean your little website? Nathan laughed nervously. Sir, this is $1 billion deal. Please don't embarrass me. Right on cue, phones around the table began buzzing. The purchase order had been transmitted. I watched as Nathan's face drained of color while reading the sender's information. From Sarah Cooper to TechVibe Global. This is impossible, he whispered. Is it? I pulled up TechVibe's real metrics on the boardroom screens. While you thought I was selling phone cases, I built the largest technology marketplace in North America. Nextech Retail was just one of many companies I created to approach Cooper Electronics. But your little apartment, your basic car? Appearances can be deceiving, brother dear. Something Dad taught me before he died. The best deals are made when they don't see you coming. The board members were frantically reviewing the purchase order, their expressions shifting from shock to understanding as they realized the full scope of what had happened. The contract you signed last week, I continued, didn't just secure a distribution deal. It gave TechVibe controlling interest in Cooper Electronics. Perhaps you should have read the fine print more carefully. Nathan grabbed the documents, his hands shaking. This isn't legal. You can't. Actually, I can. And I did. I smiled, thinking of all the times he'd mocked my online business. Your little sister just acquired Cooper Electronics for $1.2 billion. Though given your recent management decisions, I probably overpaid. The afternoon sun cast long shadows across the Cooper Electronics boardroom as I outlined my plans for the company's future. Nathan sat slumped in what used to be his chair, his perfectly pressed suit now wrinkled from stress. The integration with TechVibe's platform begins immediately, I announced, clicking through my presentation. Cooper Electronics will become our hardware division, though with significant changes to management and operations. You can't just walk in here and take over, Nathan protested weakly. Actually, I pulled up the ownership documents. I already have. TechVibe now controls 51% of Cooper Electronics through various subsidiaries. Your board approved it last week, though they didn't realize who they were really dealing with. Rebecca's designer handbag slipped from her lap as she saw the real numbers behind my little website. TechVibe's daily revenue exceeded Cooper Electronics' annual earnings. But your dropshipping business, she whispered, was a cover, I completed her thought. One of many. While you were all mocking my amateur efforts, I built a technology empire. One that now owns your company. My phone buzzed continuously with breaking news alerts. Tech mogul Sarah Cooper reveals identity. TechVibe acquires Cooper Electronics in surprise takeover. E-commerce giant expands into hardware manufacturing. The press is waiting downstairs, my assistant informed me. And your mother has called 8 times in the last hour. Speaking of family, I turned back to Nathan. Let's discuss your future role. Or rather, the lack thereof. You're firing me? His voice cracked. From our family's company? The same way you tried to fire me from the board after Dad died? I clicked to the next slide, displaying years of his mismanagement. The difference is I actually have cause. The boardroom screens filled with data. Failed projects, inflated projections, and questionable decisions that had cost Cooper Electronics millions. You've lost market share in every major category, I continued. While focusing on your corporate image, you forgot about actually running the business. We can fix this, Nathan pleaded. As a family. Family. I laughed softly. Like when you told investors my online business was a joke. Or when you advised our cousins not to invest in TechVibe's first funding round. I distributed folders to each board member. Inside you'll find two options. Option 1. Accept TechVibe's integration plan, including complete management restructuring. Option 2. I sell my controlling interest to our biggest competitor. They're offering a premium, though they'll probably eliminate most positions. The board members began reviewing the documents, their expressions shifting from shock to resignation as they realized the truth about their company's situation. You've been planning this for years, Nathan realized, his voice hollow. Ever since you dismissed my e-commerce ideas as playing with websites, I confirmed. While you were busy mocking my business model, I was learning yours. Every weakness, every vulnerability, every opportunity you missed because you were too arrogant to see it. My phone buzzed with another message, this time from our mother. Just saw the news. Why didn't you tell us about TechVibe? Would you have believed me? I typed back, thinking of all the family brunches where they'd dismissed my work. By sunset, I stood in my real office, the top floor of TechVibe Tower, watching the city lights come alive. The acquisition was complete. Cooper Electronics was mine. The transition team is ready, my CFO reported. And Nathan's office has been cleared out. Where would you like your new headquarters? Keep them separate, I decided. TechVibe stays here. Cooper Electronics can become our hardware division, after some significant upgrades to both their technology and their culture. My phone hadn't stopped buzzing with messages from family members. Some angry, some congratulatory, all too late. One from Nathan caught my eye. I understand now. Why you kept everything hidden. You were building an empire while we thought you were playing with websites. The next morning I walked into Cooper Electronics, my new acquisition. Employees who had once ignored me scrambled to attention. Board members who had dismissed my business acumen now waited nervously for meetings. As I settled into my new office, formerly Nathan's, I picked up the nameplate he'd left behind, Nathan Cooper CEO. Beneath it sat my new one, Sarah Cooper CEO, TechVibe Global and Cooper Electronics. Your brother is waiting in the lobby, my assistant reported. He wants to discuss his severance package. Tell him what he always told me, I replied, turning to the window. Some people are meant for bigger things than family businesses. Because sometimes the best revenge isn't proving them wrong about your little website. It's using that website to buy their company right out from under their mocking smiles. Success, after all, doesn't need to be flashy. Sometimes it just needs to be final.